It's deadline day, and we knew we were going to be busy. And it is about the goalkeeping saga. Emi Martinez or Royal Antwerp, Senny Lemmens. Which one is it going to be? First of all, we've put in a bid. We've raised the stake for Lemmens. We really want him. And Martinez is just a backup plan. That's what's being pushed by one side. Then you've got Romano on the other side saying, listen, personal terms agreed with Martinez. He's told Aston Villa he wants to move. He wasn't in the team last night. And all we know is that Man United are the team that are in for him. So it's not like somebody else is negotiating for him. I don't know what it's going to be, who we'll end up with. But what I do know is we're going to get a goalkeeper. And for me, it has to be Emi Martinez. I know there's some worries about some mistakes here and there. And some people are doing loads of comps and the mistakes that he's made. But I don't know if you've looked at Andre Onana any time. I don't know if you've seen our goalkeeping department at any time. If you give me the opportunity for a couple of years to bring in a World Cup winner, someone who's been playing a top 6 team for the last few years, who's one of the better goalkeepers in the league, he's one of the top goalkeepers in the league, I'm taking that all day. No need to wait to settle in. No need the shirt's too big for him, Jeff. I worry for him, Jeff. None of that. Emi Martinez walks straight into Old Trafford with big cojones and understands what it's about to play for a big club and to be in the pressure cooker moments. That's what he is. Yes, he's a bit eccentric. Yes, he's going to make the odd mistake here or there. But we need someone who's strong in the box, can claim crosses, and ain't shook and ain't rubbish. And that is Emi Martinez. Now, if it's Lemmens, he's highly tipped as well. Great. We'll talk about it afterwards. But if you're asking me to choose right now at 9:08 on deadline day, get me Mr. Emi Martinez. And Martinez. And shout out, it's because I was in the Bizot thing. Shout out Unai Emery. Marco Bizot. Ironically, Bizot had a stink on it. They got bought 3-0.
So, this is the latest. Fabrizio Romano said last night that Emi Martinez has told Aston Villa he wants to join Manchester United. He has said, I want the move to Old Trafford. It's a clear message again after the game, of course, which he wasn't involved in. He wasn't in the squad. Marco Bizot. That was the reason why. Unai Emery did kind of expand on that a little bit afterwards and sort of said, I need players that are 100% focused, and Emi Martinez is not that. This, of course, comes after personal terms have already been agreed between Manchester United and Emi Martinez. Talks are continuing around James Sancho. We'll talk about that later on. But Man United are also keeping these talks active with Senna Lemmens, who Aston Villa, ironically enough, will target if Manchester United end up signing Emi Martinez, which has got a lot of people sort of confused because they're going, well, if the Senna Lemmens deal is so difficult to do, how can Villa think they can do it in mere hours before the window? Exactly. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But as we spoke about yesterday, Emi Martinez wasn't in that Aston Villa squad yesterday because he was pushing to join Manchester United. His agent, George Mendes, is leading the case. It was said that after the game last night in which Villa lost 3-0, Man United and Villa were going to have these club-to-club talks. Whether or not they've actually happened, we'll have to wait and see. But again, this all comes after yesterday. The day started with the suggestion that United put a new bid in for Senna Lemmens, and this new bid was closer to what Antwerp were looking for. Because of that, there could even be a medical yesterday. There was at one point said, there could be a medical today. And then when this Martinez stuff started to really gather momentum yesterday, suddenly out of nowhere, Mike McGrath came out and said, no, it's still Senna Lemmens is the priority. He's still the priority. Man United are still talking to Royal Antwerp. A deal is moving closer. Man United have discussed Emi Martinez just because the Lemmens deal is never guaranteed and they want to have options. They don't want the window to shut. And Man United
don't get a keeper, which is fair enough.
A keeper, which does make sense. But
meant to do that.
Then, like I said, a lot of other parts of it don't make a lot of sense because if clearly it looks like Man United are frustrated with how these negotiations for Lemmens are going on. They thought this deal was going to be done a couple of weeks ago and it looked like a fee was going to be close. I mean, they're negotiating with Royal Antwerp, you're right. It shouldn't be that difficult of a deal to do. But it's getting dragged out, it's getting longed out, and they're worried of like, well, window's going to close today and we should have alternatives. And then the Emi Martinez one, they go back to that, and then Martinez is really, really pushing for it. And they go, this one maybe is a bit more likely. But then when Aston Villa go, yeah, okay, if we lose Martinez, we'll go and get Senna Lemmens instead, then suddenly that appears to be not that much of a difficult deal to do. and then you've got two different sets of journalists saying two different things about who's the priority. It's really, really, really confusing. I mean, like you said, the ultimate thing is it looks like we're getting a goalkeeper. That's a big positive. Either one is a significant upgrade on Andre Onana. Who isn't?
Yeah.
I'm an upgrade. You're
Although
an
I haven't seen
Mangan's
that
an
kid play.
upgrade on Andre
He
Onana,
should.
right?
Everyone should be, but I haven't seen the other guy play. The kid.
Well,
I've never seen him play in my life. Never even heard of him until this summer.
This is the thing. This is the
We have
thing
to be
with the
careful.
Lemmens. This is the thing with the Lemmens one, right? Obviously, now people are getting into their stats bag and they're going, "Oh, the pros and cons." They're going, Lemmens, the pros for him. Obviously, he's a younger goalkeeper. There's more longevity there. He may be cheaper in regard to his wages because obviously Martinez is older, more experienced, Premier League proven. It's maybe a bit more of an expensive deal. The cons are that he is young, and the other cons are Flex is flying.
Yeah, I'm just making myself bigger. It was annoying me.
The cons are that
That's bad.
he is young. He's only really played 1 year of first team football as a goalkeeper. That's been in the Belgian league. Does he have the experience and does he have the ability to handle the pressure that comes with being the goalkeeper for Manchester United? Is he probably better off in terms of his career of going to a club not as big as United, like a Villa first, before going on to a bigger deal? I think one thing that does actually work in his favor is, like you said, if people are saying, "Oh, I know Sen Lemmens really well, I watch him every week," unless they are from Belgium, I feel like they must be lying, right? Because
or their job is like a football analyst, like they actually do that. It's just what you are. Yeah.
With Emi Martinez, obviously the problem is the people that would be the critics of him is that we've seen Emi Martinez play in goal every week for a decade. So everyone knows him. Everyone's seen him make mistakes. Everyone's seen him make these errors, and we know his pros and cons very, very well, don't we? So immediately people go to that and they'll go to the stats and say, look, last season he was up there with mistakes with Andre Onana. And I'll go, well,
I keep seeing that stat. Is it actually? Is it?
Yes,
but
the thing about
that. Is it?
We have to be. This is when I go back to the errors that lead to goal, because what counts as an error that leads to goal, right? Andre Onana has had many mistakes that don't count as an error that leads to a goal, right? Or sometimes a parry out doesn't count as an error that leads to a goal. It's very subjective, that one.
And just eye test, man. Come on, man. Well, in the small condensed period that Andre Onana has been here, you want to talk about highlight reels and just off of the top of your head where you can remember the mistakes. He has stood out like a sore thumb in the time that he's been in this league for 2 years. This is his third year. And in the same time, Emi Martinez, nowhere near it. Nowhere near as bad. Like, we shouldn't even disgrace Emi Martinez by mentioning Andre Onana in the same sentence. Like, I know there's a lot on the internet, people saying, listen, he's led to the same amount of mistakes. Look, just use your eyes, man. Forget the minutiae of each specific, stat and this, that, and the other. Because like I said, I started doing this sort of thing when Ugarte was on his way in here. He wins the most duels in Europe and all this crap. And they come here and all the other stuff is so bad and that one thing is really good. Let's talk about the things that Emi Martinez is good at. Let's talk about the things that he's actually done. David T says Villa fans are happy he's leaving. I don't think they are happy. They might be happy because he doesn't want to be there. So they're like, all right, go then. But he's a good goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. Yes, he's eccentric. Yes, he does make a mistake here and there. Look. Ironically, he's currently not playing as well before today because he's serving a ban for getting a red card. Because the last game he played, he absolutely done something mad. Where if Onana did do that, forget, I hear it. It's disgusting. But the overall package of Emi Martinez, I don't know what it is. It's like we're just so scarred from what's going on. Is that we're saying prefer this kid I've never heard of, never seen play, rather than the guys played in the league for the. I don't get it.
I was just thinking this when I was seeing the chat there, and I thought again I think there's nothing we have to remember. We always do this, right? We as a fan base will always find a reason not to sign a player. So it was the same when we were linked with, say, Gyökeres, or when we're linked with people we didn't get in this window, right? Or even Šeško or whoever. It's why is this club getting rid of him? Or he's too old, he's too young. We've seen him in the Premier League. We haven't seen him in the Premier League. He's too expensive. He's too cheap. We will always find a reason, right? So we're never going to 100%. We're never going to 100% agree on that, and particularly when this situation has played itself as a binary choice of you've got to pick either Lemmens or you got to pick Martinez. That's going to lead to conflict between people because then you're forced to weigh up the pros and cons, right? And someone says, and Nikhil says, nobody found a reason not to sign Baleba. I'm telling you, there was still some that were going, yeah, but Brighton, are they taking the piss? £100 million? I don't know. But we always do it. We always do it.
People are doing comps of him now, saying, "Actually, he's
actually well, you did dodge the bullet."
That.
I'm watching Baleba on my screen. Oh, I don't know about that. You know, we always do it. With, like I said, the Lemmens one versus Martinez, it is very much, is it better the devil you know or the one you don't know? Because the Lemmens one, there are legitimate pros there. That he is younger and his stats about he's a tall guy claiming crosses and that he's seen as the heir apparent to Courtois for Belgium and go, oh my goodness me, yeah, that's great. But I remember a time in which last season we were saying the same thing about Jean-Claude Todibo from Nice about going, he's an ex-Varane. He's an ex-Varane. We're going to get him in. Varane's going. We're going to get Todibo from Nice. It's going to be an easy one to do. That's what it's going to be. Todibo, get him in. We watch him now. And no one had watched him. No one was watching Nice every single week. But it was just, he's French. He's tall. It's Varane reincarnated. That's what it's going to be. And then we see him at West Ham. We go, he's not that. he's not that, but it's because, like you said, because we've seen people every single week. That's more of a reason to say no. That's more of a reason to say no because it's a better painted picture, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's a better painted picture. And I just, for the love of me, listen. Clearly, we should have prioritized a goalkeeper higher up the list and had this done, a long time ago, right in the window. But we prioritized 3 forwards before this, and we all said we still need a goalkeeper, we still need a number 6, etc., etc. You have to go with where you're at in the current window as well, and with a matter of hours left, and you need instant impact. Like the goalkeeping department's been so bad, so bad. I think people are forgetting. You just know that you can put Martinez. Well, I say you just. Me personally, I know that I can put him there. And that bedding in period is just not needed. It's just not needed. It's been so shit that you just need someone who's just going to come in and understand what it is. I do agree, though. Obviously, while we're hearing all this agreed terms and Lemmens deals 20 million and stuff like that, we don't know what this Emi Martinez proposal is. Is it 40 million and a 5-year contract? Or is it a loan with an option? Is it just a swapsies with Sancho? Is it, 15, 25? Is it 25 million for someone who's experienced? Is it what is it? Because we don't actually know what it is. And the last thing I say before I hand back to you is Mike McGrath is saying that we've actually bid for Lemmens. We've put that bid in, and it's down to the player. He could do his medical. There's been no bid for. It does seem more like what Mike McGrath's saying, which is that you've agreed personal terms, so you're ready to go. Listen, here's what your contract would look like. Here's, wages and length and your squad role. We're not going to put a bid in yet to Villa because we're looking at this. Because if they wanted Emi Martinez, he wants to come to us. Emi Martinez would be our player now. But then we tried to get him on loan earlier in the window. Fact. And Villa said no.
Yeah, so that was a bit that went in. So, I mean, look, and again, like you said, that's the one thing that is really interesting about the Martinez aspect of it is we just haven't heard really any figures go around since really earlier on in the window. Earlier on in the window, there was that fee that was like 40 million, and that was ridiculous. I mean, to sign a 32-year-old goalkeeper for 40 million pounds is outrageous, but he does have 3 years left on his contract. Then obviously there were concerns about his wages, again, what they would look like. So you do wonder, has any of that changed? And because even though that I'd be leaning more towards the Martinez one instead of Lemmens, if it is a case of Martinez for 40 odd million on big wages, then I'm not interested in that one. I don't like that at all. That's, to me, that's bad business. And then you do look towards the Lemmens one. You weigh up the pros of, well, younger guy, less money in terms of transfer fee and wages. And the thing I just wouldn't get, to me, I can't wrap my head around the idea. Because by all accounts, Antwerp are going, we want about 25 million euros, something like that for Lemmens. Why Manchester United would go 25 million for Lemmens? Fuck that. We're going 40 million for Emi Martinez. Why we would do that, I just can't It really makes you wonder, that one. So I'll be interested to see what the figures would be for it, because if they did that, then they would be opening themselves up for massive criticism, because you would just go get Lemmens if it's a price issue, right? But there's also, I guess, the other aspect of it, like you're saying, of maybe we've seen with Mbumo and Cunha this idea of, look, we want people that are ready to go right now, and we don't have to bed in. Lemmens would be one of those people that he would go straight in, because our goalkeeping standard at the club is horrific. But, there would still be this aspect of he's young. He's got to get used to the Premier League, got to get used to how things work in England. Whereas Martinez, maybe you would say that's not the case. He's obviously, he's got a huge experience in the Premier League, and you don't have to worry that much about mentality. Not that you have to worry about mentality with Andre Onana. That's one of his only positives, his mentality and confidence. But
it amounts to nothing.
Exactly. But when it comes to Martinez, one of the positive stats is that he does have, in the league anyway, I think it was the highest, or one of the highest, of claimed crosses from, in play, set pieces, what have you. We really struggle with that, with set pieces and crosses into the box. Our goalkeeper can't come out to collect. Lemmens has also some of the best claimed crosses, in Europe last season. And one of the best save percentages, or most shots saved in Europe last season. So it's clear that United are looking for a specific profile of goalkeeper. They're looking for that goalkeeper that can claim crosses, dominate at corners, to not have the situations that we've had last season and into this season. And it's just a case of, with Lemmens, do we know that much about him? What price are they looking at? But I just can't. That would baffle me. And I think Ineos would open themselves up to massive scrutiny of, so you said no to Lemmens for 25 and then got Martinez for 40. That makes zero sense.
But the only way that it could make sense is
if they went down to a similar price, maybe.
It goes down to a similar price, or a price that reflects. How much should Emi Martinez be in today's market? Then
you've got a situation where Ederson's going. You've got a situation where Ederson's going for, was it like 12 million, 15 million, something like that? Is that
because of his contract? How long's left on his contract?
Ederson.
Let's do the proper maths. Let's break it down, because you're right.
His contract expires 2026, so his contract expires at the end of the season.
So he's got the end of the season. He's in his last year. He's only signed a new deal last year. For me, I just don't want to be taking chances at this stage. It's not like get him in and make him be the keeper for the next 5 years. I agree with that. In Martinez, but I need someone who just knows the league, man.